morning and welcome to Business Reporter. I'm Rachel Hicks. The Internet of Things has opened up new horizons for business and industry. It connects cars, transport systems, supply chains, and entire manufacturing lines to enable smooth operations and data-driven predictive analytics. And yet the revolution is far from complete. Much IoT infrastructure still sits in isolated silos, preventing companies and societies from reaping the full benefits of a deeply connected world. As a leading global IoT provider, Microsoft has been surveying this landscape for a long time. We invited Sam George, the VP of Azure IoT at Microsoft, to talk about the current state of IoT and their mission to democratize access to this exciting technology. Good morning, Sam.
Well, thanks so much for having me. It's great to be with you.
What is possible today with IoT?
Well, IoT is becoming more and more sophisticated and providing more benefits as it does. Early IoT was really concerned with connecting to assets, predicting their maintenance, optimizing them. Today, companies like Unilever are creating entire digital twins of their factories and optimizing the factories. Companies like RXR, which is a real estate company in New York City, are providing safer workplace environments. By harnessing IoT, edge computing, and AI, they're able to actually ensure that everyone is wearing a mask, that there's safe social distancing that's happening, and the environment is clean. It's an incredible leap forward.
Has COVID-19 been a big setback in this process?
Well, COVID-19 has obviously had a big impact worldwide, but it's actually accelerated IoT projects. According to our IoT Signals report, about 33% of IoT projects have actually accelerated. About 40% of projects are actually still investing at the same level. Despite some of the challenges that we're seeing across industries worldwide, IoT projects are doing quite well.
But 1/3 of IoT projects fail in the trial stage. What are the main roadblocks?
Well, our IoT Signals report really identified three. One of those is scaling the projects through an organization, right? Handling all aspects of it. The other is upfront identifying clear return on investment goals. That's a big predictor of success. And last is identifying the right resources to apply to the project, the right people, the right skills. What we've seen is that companies like RXR and Unilever have adeptly navigated this, right? They've put the right people and the right resources in place to see these through, and they had clear goals from the very beginning of their return on investment that they were out to achieve.
Are these business challenges, technical challenges, or compliance issues?
Well, technical challenges used to be a big challenge. Fortunately, with companies like Microsoft investing $5 billion in IoT over the last 4 years, what we've seen is that the technology is not the bottleneck anymore. It's become incredibly easy to take advantage of all of these IoT capabilities. What we see now is that it's really up to the business to apply proper business processes to it, figure out the return on investment goals, track those in terms of stages, and stop projects that aren't meeting those goals.
How should a business decide whether to buy IoT as a service or build it in-house?
Well, technology isn't a core competency of many businesses, but every business is going through a digital transformation of some sort. One of the first things we recommend is that companies decide how much of a software practice are they going to develop. Are they going to build these solutions themselves? If they're not, we have a broad ecosystem of partners that deliver vertical solutions in every industry. If they are going to take advantage of it themselves, even for that, we've lowered the barrier of entry incredibly. So for example, with IoT Central, our IoT app platform as a service, we've made it so that you can provision an IoT solution in about 10 seconds. You can customize it in just a few hours, and you go to production the exact same day.
How does Microsoft's solution tackle challenges and facilitate the adoption of IoT?
Well, what we've done is we've provided all of the technology that's required to secure IoT devices, to manage them, to harness millions of devices sending trillions of messages. But we go beyond that. What we saw in the IoT Signals report was that many of the challenges like we've talked about are business related. So we include all of the business best practices that we've seen in the industry to help companies succeed and emerge from proof of concepts to full production.
Can you give us some examples of these different solutions?
We'll give two examples. The first is using our low-code, no-code approach with IoT Central. The second is using our IoT platform services directly. So in the first example, the company is Sensoria, and Sensoria provides connected experience of patient monitoring for doctors and nurses to monitor patients in wheelchairs. And they monitor them in the wheelchairs to make sure that their posture shifts periodically so they don't develop ulcers. Now, Sensoria picked IoT Central because of its rapid application development. Maersk is another example, and they provide shipping containers that are connected, and they provide visibility to their customers on where those containers are worldwide. Now, Maersk already had a software practice of cloud solution developers, and they took the approach of our IoT platform services because they wanted all of the flexibility and power that those provide. Our mission is very clear. It's to simplify IoT and democratize it for every business on the planet to be able to take advantage of it, regardless of their technical depth. You see this trend in all technologies. They start out only for the innovators and early adopters, and eventually they'll go mainstream. And they go mainstream because of that simplification. 15 years ago, it was very difficult to create a website. Today, it's very easy. That's exactly where we're going in IoT.
Based on your past surveys, can you paint a picture of the future?
We really see IoT accelerating. Our IoT Signals report really showed that over 2 in 3 businesses are planning on accelerating the amount of IoT that they take advantage of. And 90% of those businesses that are using IoT now see it as critical to their success. That's up from 88% even just a year ago. So as we saw in the beginning with companies like RXR as well as Unilever, the state of the art is moving. It's not just about connecting assets anymore. It's about connecting entire environments. So what the future really holds for IoT is that every business will have deep visibility into all of the physical aspects of their business in real time. And that really enables them to partner with other businesses that have that same insight. With their supply chains, with their distribution networks, IoT really opens up incredible amounts of opportunity for companies that are able to take advantage of it. And our mission at Microsoft is to make it so that every business on the planet can benefit from IoT.
Sam, thank you so much for joining us. Goodbye.
Thanks so much for having me. It was great talking to you.